All right, this is the assignment over section 4.8, and I'm going to walk you through a few problems to get you started with this. Let's look at number 10. So number 10 is the square root of negative 15. So we're going to break that up into two parts, because 15 doesn't have any perfect squares that live inside of it. So it's the square root of negative 1 and the square root of 15. And if I could break 15 down, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I could, what I'm trying to say. If I could break 15 down, I would, but I can't because no perfect squares live inside of it. So 15 is kind of a dead end because 3 and 5, you can't take the square root of them. And so the answer to this one is I radical 15. I don't write anything after square roots, so I always put things in front of square roots so that I don't think that it's underneath the radical symbol. Picking out another one, let's see, in the next section on the 18. So at 18 you're adding, 19 you're adding, so let's look at 19. So we're just adding together, negative 3 minus 5i, and then plus 4 minus 2i. So we just collect our like terms together, just like I showed you. So these two go together, that'd be 1. These go together, you borrow 5 from your aunt, 2 from your uncle, you owe them 7. Okay, subtraction, remember to distribute the negative through there, so 22 is a subtraction one. Negative 6 minus 7i, and then minus 1 plus 3i. So you have to distribute the negative through the parentheses, so it's negative 6 minus 7i. This makes negative 1. This makes negative 3i. So then I put together the like terms. You borrow 6, you borrow 1, you owe 7. You borrow 7, you borrow 3, you owe 10. So that's how that goes there. Okay, 22. Now we're going to do a subtracting one together. Oh, we just did a subtracting one together. Let's do a multiplying one together. 26. 26 is 9 plus 4i, and it says squared in the book, but that means I'm just going to write it down twice. So this is all the foiling business. First, outside, inside, last. I times I is I squared. Then this goes together. That would be 72i. And this is now negative 16 because the I squared, remember, is negative 1. So it's negative 16. These go together. So you have 81, you spend 16, 65 plus 72i. Alright, so the next problems after that, oh, I need to keep my paper off here to the side. Oh, up through 26, here's that one, and then 28 and 29. 28 and 29. 28, that's where you're doing the rationalizing thing. So 28, set it up, negative 2i over 1 plus I. So you're going to rationalize the denominators. You're going to multiply the bottom by 1 minus I and 1 minus I. So that's the complex conjugate is what that's called. It's the same binomial, but you just switch the sign there. And then you're going to multiply this together. Here we're just going to straight distribute. Here you're going to FOIL it out. Okay, so try that one and see how it goes. And then we're doing some solving at the bottom, starting with 39 up through 44. So you can do completing the square, or you could do quadratic formula. So let's do 39, and let's do completing the square to review that. But you're going to have an I situation when you get done with it. So make a blank space, and then we're going to complete the square. We don't have 1 there, blank space. So half the middle term is 1, 1 squared is 1. So you're going to add 1 to each side of the equation. So it's half the 2 squared, 1 on each side. And then we factor x plus 1, x plus 1, and then this goes together to make negative 2. Then we take the square root, right? That's an important part of completing the square. So we get x plus 1 is equal to plus or minus. Now, this has a negative in there, but that negative gets factored out, and it's the square root of negative 1, so it's I radical 2. And then we bring the 1 over, so we get x is negative 1 plus or minus I radical 2. And then you could do the quadratic formula on this if you wanted to. All right, so that's just a little 5-minute thing to help you get started with this.